show because it works. It works out either way. This is usually how I do it. I talk, have a random ass story, cut it, do it. I do that shit all the time.
All right, I'm ready for this.
All right. Welcome to another episode of We Ain't Them. I am your host, Rassan. And today I have, because unfortunately, Ebony is still in Orlando. You taking too long, babe. Hurry back. Hungry. But in all honesty, we have some wonderful, wonderful guests today. So I'm gonna start from my right, introducing referee of Battle Club Pro, Mr. Blacc, part owner of Battle Club Pro, as well as co-host of Job of Tears, Miss Janelle, and of course, Mr. Dabney himself. He's host of House of Glory. He also is a former retired wrestler of Battle Club Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Sir Wilkins, and of course, I would like to introduce you guys to the Jobber Tears podcast.
What up, y'all? That was a real smooth, cool daddy entrance.
I feel like it should have been music behind it.
Facts.
No, this is different for me.
It is.
Because I'm sitting here like, can people hear me?
I can hear you.
You can.
We have no more conversation like this,
Can
Janelle.
they hear me though?
Oh, of course, they definitely.
So that's what, because we're used to recording with, well, I can record with headphones. He the only one that don't record with headphones. So that's why this is a little different. But
I hate it because like it makes no sense. I gotta hear my voice 3 times in my side of my head, me speaking in earphones.
You have to make sure it sounds right.
I know.
No, I definitely I understand. I understand. At one point when I started, I was like that. I was like, yo, let me try this with the headphones. And then I was like, man, fuck that. My voice is loud enough and this mic is right in my face. And even if fuck it, I can edit it. Like it's simple as that. Like I learned that. Anyway, guys, before we get started today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are releasing episodes every Friday as a special for Moa's birthday. So you guys will get back-to-back episodes.
You a Gemini?
I am.
Oh, I fuck with y'all niggas. That's my moon, Gemini.
his birthday is at the end of the month. It's the 30th.
I'm a Cancer. So we like right here, brother.
right here.
We acting like two.
The 20th.
That's 20th. That's 20th.
Yeah.
Oh.
10 days later is
What do you
me.
have planned?
Huh?
What do you have planned for your birthday?
So honestly, nothing. Turning 31, you just realize you don't really got to do much. I mean, on Friday, I probably will do something.
Okay.
I'll probably go play mini golf or something at this place called Swingers.
By yourself?
No,
No. I would
no.
hope
The
not.
fiance will be back by then.
Oh. Swingers in
Also, what she? Oh,
Swingers
on,
in
on the west side.
23rd Street?
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
I've been there before. It's pretty cool.
It's really nice. It is.
Well,
Really
what
nice.
if she has something planned for you and you don't know it yet?
Well, then I'll sit back and wait.
She probably doesn't.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We talk about this all the time. She says to me all the time, like, "Yo, how is it that you do better surprises than me?" She's like, "In all the relationships I've been in, you always do everything better than me." And I'm just like,
Because you care.
"Yeah, that's literally the exact reason." I tell her all the time.
Just gotta put your dick on the table and be like, yo,
That's
I'm that
it.
nigga.
That's it. And like you said,
It's actually a real thing. So.
like honestly, like when you really love somebody, oh yeah, you just pay attention.
You just gotta listen.
Yeah, and like overall, like I learned this for social media. When niggas used to hide their baby mothers, you're gonna slip up. I learned that. We all slip up. You gonna drop a hint. I'm like, knows that you're looking at something, glazing at something. I got you.
Oh yeah. So that's the interesting thing. Is like whenever I talk to her, I'm always like, yo, I just appreciate you, and I always want you to know that you're appreciated. So
That's that real black love, y'all.
Everything that I can to keep you happy. And she's just like, She's always starts to fake tear up. And I was like, nigga, stop.
Y'all, yo, I swear, y'all Geminis have no emotions.
Oh,
When's
no.
her birthday?
So, ironically, her birthday is a month after mine. So, hers is July 20th.
Oh, okay.
I swear, everything for us is perfectly lined up for me to remember. Like, our anniversary, St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Our birthdays a month apart. So, these shits is easy to
That's like
remember.
me and mine.
You
My
guys
birth-
met on St. Patrick's Day?
No.
Started dating
He asked, yeah.
No, I slid in the DMs.
on St. Patrick's Day?
Nah.
Oh.
What?
St. Patrick's Day is the
I want to tell that.
anniversary day.
I do
You're
want to
not
tell
listening.
that story, but I think I'm gonna save that story
For the anniversary
for
show?
our anniversaries.
Smart.
Yeah.
I
When,
like
when
that.
we do
So
an
you gotta
episode
tune
together
in.
to just yeah.
No, he intrigued. So you saying St. Patrick's Day? He's like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And ironically, you wearing green. We both was wearing green. Okay.
Which is interesting because we wasn't wearing green that day. We was wearing blue.
Oh, Blues
I mean,
It's as interesting as it's gonna be, but
I want to hear this.
that's gonna save for another day. This ain't about me. This is about y'all.
we just have a regular
It's
conversation.
hard. It's hard, but
It's hard because I know you guys are used to doing your podcast, and you guys do an amazing job.
Thank you.
And
you.
at the
Thank you.
end of the episode, I'm gonna backtrack because I really want to tell the backstory of how We Ain't Them came to existence. But first, I want to know how the Job with Tears podcast came into existence.
How we gonna do this,
Not
Janelle?
it.
Janelle, you
Not
always tell
it.
the story, Janelle.
No.
So
Not today.
so what
Janelle,
happened
you tell the
was-
best stories.
No, I don't.
So
I mean, I do, but
I'll
not today.
just go ahead. So it's pretty simple. It was the bastard child's gets revenge.
Wow. That was the direction you went with that.
Wow.
That's like high level to what
I got to put up the leg up
actually
for this
is.
one.
So Janelle, you just want to help us out here?
Cause yeah, he gave like the rated R superstar answer. I'm saying like, what? He's not lying though. But
Exactly. See, exactly.
no, so basically what happened was before the creation of Job with Tears podcast, myself and Sir Wilkins, we were doing a podcast with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you know that?
that person? He might have.
Sadly,
No.
I didn't.
Yeah, your
No,
executive
that's
producer
okay.
fucked up.
Listen, you're annoying. I think we've done a really good job at just not burying the past, but burying the past.
Yeah, we
So,
did. It don't exist.
So yeah, so me and him were doing the podcast because it really was his brainchild. So he wanted to do a podcast because he got that. He's always good at being in front of the trends. So he was like, podcasting's coming up. That's what I want to do. Cool. So
Underground Kings right here.
this
baby.
one, this one asks, so I'm sitting here because, once again, this is my best friend and that's his brother. So for me, I'm sitting here, he posts one day, he's like, any females want to do a podcast? I cussed this man out. I said, excuse me, I'm right in front of you.
And this is why I have
What are you
to pause
talking
it this
about?
way. This woman's always busy. Oh, she has 5 different jobs.
I don't. I have one job.
Boy, she be flying out. Oh, I gotta go to my homegirl baby
And
shower.
guess what? And I will fly back in and go straight to work. So there was no excuses.
Me and my brother care about people's well-being because we're the type of people where like, listen, you busy? We gonna figure it out on our own. But my brother put it out there, and she caught a whole attitude.
Absolutely, as I should.
So rewind, just to rewind, because
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna rewind and come back and fast forward, just to get the story done. So you know how they do it on you ever watch This Is Us TV
I've
show?
watched
Oh
a few
yeah, where
episodes.
they go back and
Yeah,
forth.
yeah,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
past.
So we're gonna go back and forth in the
Yeah,
past
yeah,
right now, telling the story.
Yeah.
So everybody's listening and watching, keep up.
Yeah.
So my side of this, because now we're gonna turn to like my part of the, on my point of view. Now they do that, like they do another point of view of the same exact story. So we're
So
gonna do
this is
that
the
right.
flash of big him in the gym. Think about the plan right now. Yeah.
So I was at the gym. So I was at the gym. So I was at the gym, and our old former co-host had a Facebook group, and I helped build the Facebook group.
What are those?
Huh?
I hate those.
Shut up,
What?
because we have one too.
Oh damn.
Here comes the backstory on this. This man was the original guy who used to host viewing parties.
So I was doing viewing parties, and as you've been to one of the viewing parties.
I was there in the beginning. RP to Big Big Scotty out in the building. He said, "Yo, bro, you be the Vince McMahon of viewing parties." By the way, Well, look at him now.
So we're doing the viewing parties. He ended up working with me at the viewing parties, and we ended up growing. The
Nah,
viewing parties
man.
and
Nah, man.
God, I need to finish the story.
Let him
He said a
finish.
nice version of it. Like,
Well, that's
he saw what he's
fair.
winning, and after that, he want to hop on like a rodeo. Me, he was dick riding him. There you go.
Oh damn, dick riding without a license.
So we ended up working together, and then he was like, "Oh, we need to do more. We need to do more." And I was like, "We need to." Well, at the time, I was watching a lot of Charlemagne, the guy on Andrew Schultz on Brilliant Idiots. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yes.
show. So this is when they were at their peak and they were growing, and there was only like a few podcasts out at the time. I was listening to Sam Roberts' podcast,
Joe Budden.
Joe Budden's podcast when it was called I'll name this podcast later, and and also Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne the God's Brilliant Idiots show. So I'm listening to that. I remember Charlamagne kept saying like content is king, content is king, content is king. This is before it was like everybody was saying it.
Yeah.
And then when he was complaining about he wants to grow the brand that me and him were working with together, I was like, well, you got to put out some type of content. And then I was at the gym. They had First Take on. This is when Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bills were still together. And I was like, oh, there's no show like this that does wrestling. So that needs to be the next thing. So I came with him with the idea about it. I was like, hey, we should do this, this, and that. More of a debate show type of thing, moderating and all that nature. I think that would be something different than what he did. He's like, I'm not sure. I want to be on camera, blah, blah, blah. I was like, shut the fuck up. It's not that serious. Like, everybody looks weird. Like,
It's just true.
It's true.
yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not that serious. Like, so just get over it. So then he's like, all right, cool. He's like, we should get a female involved. So my original thing was have a female moderate it and me and him debate. So then that's when I put out the Facebook status, and then Janelle was like
Facebook posts of death.
and then Janelle was, and that's how me and Janelle got on. So, but then I guess he didn't feel comfortable debating me or having a conversation with me per se.
He used to wax him.
So he didn't want to do it. So he wanted to become the moderator. But it was weird because he was still debating though. And it didn't really work.
It was a really weird imbalance on that. So yeah, in the beginning of the podcast that we used to be in, me and him would debate, but really we would all three debate. And then one of the shows, he went away on vacation, and he asked his brother, Mr. Blacc, to come and do the episode. So we had it, but the way that we did it was, instead of me and him going back and forth, I was in the moderator position, and the two of them, because they were brothers, it made sense for them to go back and forth. So we did the episode, had fun, everybody loved it, we were cool. And then after that was the beginning of the end, I think.
You know that part is very told wrong, right?
What?
That didn't happen. This happened. You was out. You went out somewhere. And then I got on the show. Yeah, that's what happened. And I don't know what happened to you. I think that you went on vacation with your ex-girlfriend, something like that. Because I remember, because he asked, "What do you want to be called on the show?" And I said,
"Yes, that's what happened."
And I said,
but we then after that did an episode
exactly.
with the three of us.
Yeah.
But I think he felt comfortable with having my brother. He felt comfortable with having my brother on. So he's like, "All right, cool."
As an
alternative, like a 6-man off the bench.
Yeah.
But what happened was, when he went on vacation, it turned into Draymond, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry.
Yeah.
We're on the Warriors dynasty type of vibe.
And everybody knows I'm a big Warriors fan. So,
and unbeknownst to, I think, us, we didn't really think it would hit the way that it did.
And it did really well.
And it did, yeah. So that's why I say it really was the beginning. That's why that
the
first
beginning
part,
of the end.
It matters. But us doing the episode together is really what honestly was the start of really the Job of Tears podcast, without it being the Job of Tears podcast. So fast forward to that. I always say creative differences, but people got any feelings and they got disrespectful and all that stuff. So we part ways. And we decided to continue on the podcast. And that was, so we did our pilot episode on his birthday.
Mm-hmm. In the bar.
At Legend.
Mm-hmm. But before then when we had creative differences.
That's the PG version.
Well, why you sighing for?
So in reality, I know the feeling multiple times.
Yes.
I guess I'll be frank about it. If anybody knows, if anybody's been watching from before it was called We Ain't Them, does anybody know what it was called before We Ain't Them?
No.
Oh,
So we didn't do
It
it.
has something to do with food.
Yeah, no, you got me on that.
Oh, okay. So
You did a food
wa-
show?
yeah, so it was called originally. The podcast was called the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Podcast.
The beginning of what?
The Bacon, Egg, and Cheese.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, I was following you guys.
Yeah. So then we switched. So
Word was you guys.
I told you did there.
I'm just saying.
You was like,
definitely
I
said-
spot
Yeah,
that.
I did. I thought it was good too.
yeah.
So,
So,
did he until creative difference.
yeah. So creative
Stupid,
differences
you know.
per se. But people got real disrespectful. And I know for some reason I feel like this gonna come back. This gonna come back and wrap around because people like to bring this up. But that's what it was. It was creative differences. People got a little disrespectful, and things don't work out. And now it is.
It's
it
better
is.
than ever.
Yeah, actually, it is. It's been-
So then you would definitely understand that's what happened with us. So we did the pilot episode, and then that was his birthday around November of that year, and then at the top of the year was when we started episode 1. So
Yeah.
we started the Job of Tears podcast. We were recording in an office space.
Yeah.
With a dry erase board behind
Yeah.
us, and I was writing on it every week.
Yeah. Look at the first few episodes.
But rough video,
But technology got better over the years, and then so it ended up working out. We ended up growing.
Yeah. And once again, shout outs to Leo. He was our original cameraman.
Yeah.
And
Dirty
he
Dick Leo.
definitely went through the trenches with us.
Yeah.
And
Barefoot and all.
Barefoot and all, smashing women in the
Whole bunch
parks.
of girls.
All of them, yeah.
For people who are listening, they're probably like, "What is going on here?" Leo was our original camera guy.
Dirty Dick Leo.
So he used to be the camera guy when we did the other show.
Yeah.
So that I brought Leo with me as well. And Leo wasn't the greatest camera guy in the world, but he was a good guy.
Yeah.
He had his moments.
He was there for us. Like,
He was always had our back and stuff of that nature. He was actually like the fourth member
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
You see, you ever watch Joe Budden's podcast?
yeah.
Remember when before Parks was on camera,
Yes.
you would hear his voice and stuff like that? That's how
that
Leo
was
was.
Leo.
Yeah.
So you would hear Leo talk. Leo would say some wild stuff, and Leo was a very eclectic person.
Yeah,
He's on the
Say
spectrum
so.
low key.
He that's
Yeah.
a perfect word for him though.
Yeah, so he's a very eclectic person on low key. He loved the larger women. He was very
He
skinny.
definitely is.
That was my man. We used to back
He's
mad
an
girls
advocate
together.
for the BBW community.
We back mad girls
Absolutely.
together.
He was
please.
skinny as hell, Jamaican.
Yeah.
Legit.
Never combed his hair.
Never.
Like for him, the bigger the better.
Yes.
He was wild sometimes. He was
Wild.
wild.
And then he would give homeless women food to sleep
then
with them.
smash.
Yeah. Oh, no. Let me tell you this. It's my
What?
favorite story, Leo. So Leo said this, right? He's a go to the park, whatever, and see a homeless woman, right? And then he would offer them chicken. He said, yo, I'll give you food and everything like that. But he said that I have to sleep with you. He said, you come in, whatever. So then after he finished smashing them, he'd give them cold Popeyes and kick them out.
Yeah.
Leo was a different breed of human.
But
Yeah.
he added. That's the one thing I look back and I always love is he added.
Sazon.
Yeah, that seasoning, the jerk seasoning to our show in that sense because he's
Like-
from up that area.
Like
so.
he brought out the one thing I learned from Leo is no matter where you go, always be yourself because the world is your oyster. Like if
But-
you're in the
yeah.
world, you in it. You got this.
But he has moved on. He's working
yeah,
for UPS.
he's a dad.
He
works-
got like
has a
3
job.
He had another kid now.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure he has another kid.
Well, the first there was twins, so
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
a doozy.
Yeah.
And then, but no, we say that in appreciating Leo and what he added because without him, that foundation of what you see now wouldn't be. So I always give him his flowers for that because there was a time he didn't think we appreciated and we loved him, but we will always love and appreciate Leo because he was the 4th member of the Job of Tears podcast, especially for that first season that we had. It's interesting looking back because we almost didn't make it past that first season. So
Yeah, it was a couple of roughs and bumps.
and
bumps.
and holes in walls and
But it worked. I think what help us continue grow because as much credit people won't give us, we were kind of in the forefront of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now we might not be the biggest podcast.
Yeah.
We might not be the most popular one, but we're low key underground kings in the Black wrestling podcast game. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have told us that we're like, hey, it's because of you guys we started our stuff. We saw your stuff and everything of that nature, and you know, so it's I think we had reached the point in our first year where it's like this is bigger than us now.
Yeah.
And we just have to figure out.
Figure things out and
what works
continue
for us.
and continue growing with that. And regardless, it's gonna work out. Like at this point, we're stuck with each
We
other.
stuck. I mean, they already biologically stuck. And, you know, once again, this has been my best friend for almost 10 years. And then, you know, in terms of having him in my life, I could gain another brother in that nature of, and then once we all, I think, got that, like, we're all in the same page and we're in this all together, that's really when I think things kind of took to another level. Even us, you know, we did a live show before. We've done the viewing parties elevated in a sense because now it's like the Job of Tears podcast is hosting.
What was interesting, it was two separate podcasts doing a viewing party together.
Yep, at one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
On the same
story
block.
time on this one. When he decided like, you know, we're gonna have creative differences, it's time to split. He kept the name of his, we had a brand new one. So then now it was like Raw and SmackDown are happening on the same show.
Matter of fact, better.
Oh, wow.
It was WCW versus NWO.
But the thing about it, NWO was still part of WCW.
But
the thing about we were completely separate.
Yeah.
It was like I make it even more extreme. It was like if the Warriors and the Lakers are playing the same arena at the same time.
Oh, that's
So two games at the same time.
That's definitely.
So, but think about it, we made it work, and a lot of things I did.
Would you say not so much the Lakers for him? Would it be more of the King side?
No, it was a good. It was no. I would never diminish what his brand was doing, because one thing I helped that thing grow.
That's fair.
That Facebook group page grow, but also I don't think he realized how fast we were growing within a few seconds, because I think it was like a second or third viewing party. He came up to me. He was like, "Yeah, somebody asked for you. They asked it by name. They asked the Job of Tears by name." And I think he was caught. He was taken aback by it, like, whoa, what's going on?
That was when I wasn't going to the viewing party.
So then we were sharing the venue at this time, and then more creative differences happened.
Yeah. Listen to this wildness.
I'm not gonna divulge what happened, because there's many sides, 3 sides to the story. My side, his side, and Jesus Christ. So
I see what you did there.
Yes, because Jesus might not be right either.
It may not.
Do not disrespect Black Jesus like that.
But anyway, so we're doing the thing together, and this shit just is going straight left. But the venue loves me. They love me.
So you know when you have a divorce and now y'all trying to split up the assets, the bar won it. The bar chose Wilkins.
You gotta split friends.
But the thing about it, he had taken his ball and went. He was like, I'm taking this stuff and I'm going down the block. He literally went down the block.
Down the block.
He went to Jack Dempsey's?
Yeah.
Yes.
I figured that.
Literally down the block.
Yeah. Which is fine. Which is fine. The only problem is he didn't tell me.
Yeah, down the block.
I found out through Facebook.
Yeah.
I got a Facebook invite about his event at Jack Dempsey.
Yeah.
And then in the beginning, he was low-key trying to stop people from going to Legends.
Yeah.
To then go to Jack Dempsey for the viewing party.
But
again,
it got messy. But then I swear our lives like a TV show.
Oh, absolutely.
So then the part 3 of the breakup was me and him finally spoke.
Okay.
And we spoke. He put things aside, and it was like, all right, nigga, you just stop being a bitch. He's like, oh, my bad. And then that was it.
Yeah.
There was some tears shed, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So closure.
It was legit closure.
Yeah.
He got that.
Yeah.
Ask if anybody else in the room got that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I know the feeling. I definitely know that.
But you know what?
Too.
It's okay because the type of person that I've always been is I regardless of anything, whether it's exes, whether it's people I don't talk to no more, what regardless, if we've had interaction in life, I'm always gonna want the best for you.
I still keep an ex around.
Regardless.
I still keep an ex around.
I don't know why this nigga would reveal that, but
Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm a changed man nowadays. But for a good portion of my life, I kept an ex around.
I mean, I feel like everyone did until like
We had a rotation.
Until you have or you find a person that doesn't make you want to have a rotation.
Yeah.
You gonna have a rotation.
That's not a rotation. You just got kicked down 1 in the clock.
Well, yeah, but I feel like everyone has 1 in the clock.
Yeah, and I had to keep one for a while on standby.
But with him is, and you know we can always move on if you have other questions. But for him, for us, it was just like we're gonna focus on us. We're gonna focus on our brand. We're gonna focus on what matters to us and how we can change the wrestling community and
Change the world.
And in doing that was where the birth of Jobber Slam came from. And that it came from us, you know, either hosting, being on other podcasts, or doing things like it just became, like he mentioned, bigger than us, and we realized the assignment. So for us, in the state that we're in now, we're in a really good space, I think, podcast wise, and just even personally, like we understand each other a lot better. We respect each other, and those are the things that are always going to be important for whenever you have a podcast.
We here,
really,
niggas.
or really, whether it's a podcast or
niggas.
really just anything you do, business or anything, because essentially this is a business too. So for us, there's always money involved and things like that. So there has to be a level
Maybe we'll go to Atlanta
of
too.
respect. We're not going to Atlanta. There has to be a level of respect and honesty and trust. And unfortunately, we didn't have that with the original person we were doing the podcast with. So now us having everything's more in-house. So whether it's, you know, it was the birth of the Java Tears Network where we have Your Sports and we had Zone Talk and we had 2.5 Bros. Like for us, it became like, yo, let's just give people more content, different content, but we're all a family. Like we, at the end of the day, all these cameras can go off, podcasts can be no more. At the end of the day, we still we play a very important part in each of our lives, and that's what matters. Like I tell people all the time, I don't give a fuck about this whatever. What I always gonna care about is the betterment and health of these two and the people that's in our network and in our family circle. And that's really what it is. So we're blessed that we've had the opportunities that we've had. Whether it's as a team or individually, we've all had different amazing opportunities to do different things and represent Jabba Tears podcast. Like he's done media stuff on his own, but he's always been I got my team with me.
But because at the end of the day, everything that we have now, and you, like during the intro, you're just like, oh, you're doing Blacc is doing this, Sir Wilkins is doing this, Janelle's doing this, all this other stuff. It started from the podcast.
Yeah.
Like without the podcast, I'm not gonna 100% say that we wouldn't have what we have today, but I'm almost 99% sure that we wouldn't have that.
We wouldn't, yeah.
So it's been a good platform for us to do other things individually and together, because people get to know it. People stop us on the street. People, you know how it is. People are like, oh, I like your stuff. I like what you're doing. Like, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Like I got to wrestle. I got to wrestle.
Shoot.
And I referee a lot of matches.
Yeah.
And she's part of it.
I got to wrestle with Simon Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
These niggas is gonna hate me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They already do. Outside, they hated you before
already,
you even got in the ring.
Oh yeah.
But the
But
the thing about it is just like, just to put like a pin on it, is just like, at the end of the day is when you have a team, you got to evolve. I always compare it to the Fast and Furious. You're not going to steal VCRs, DVDs from trucks forever. Eventually, you'll go in space with your homies. You feel me? That's the natural progression of people's friendship. The stakes gets higher. The money gets different. People mature. People change. If you watch Ludacris from Fast and the Furious 1 or 2, He ain't the same
So
Ludacris.
from the afro to the braids.
Exactly. Tyrese, same exact
really
thing.
wish he cut
You feel
it.
me? Vin Diesel went from the stealing regular stuff to being a superhero when he says the streets always win and broke the ground.
It's one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Fire, P.
That man said the one thing about the streets, it always wins.
Don't forget what The Rock. Don't forget The Rock was like. He took a sensu beam and he flexed. His whole thing felt.
The cast fell off.
Yeah.
The Rock pulled down a helicopter with his bare hands. Like this. Like this.
This is true.
How
This is true.
impressive was that for you?
Very impressive.
Son, Roman Reigns was in that. He did a spear in the.
Roman Reigns speared somebody through there.
Come on, B. So
That
come
was
on,
hard.
B.
So
Come on, B.
And that
Yeah.
Shaw and Hobbs.
yeah. So what was the
movie.
question you about to ask?
Well, I'm glad that you guys mentioned evolving. And
Like
you know
Pokemon.
more like Pokemon. Like more thing. Well, technically, I'm an Eevee guy, so
You know what's crazy?
Why?
Michael, we was talking about Pokemon.
it's a
tattoos
lot of
the other
person.
day.
Listen,
What's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon?
Yeah.
It's Squirtle.
That's hard. Okay, what about you?
Arcanine.
That's random, but okay.
that's very interesting.
You say Eevee.
I said
Why
Eevee.
Eevee?
Why not?
You can't even really evolve.
Why
You need a
fucking
stone to
Squirtle?
evolve.
So what?
So what?
So what? So what?
Wait,
Then I can
Court,
evolve into
Is
anything.
it because of your hair?
I'm gonna talk to the engineer. Court, what's your favorite Pokemon? Wow.
Mad
Man,
random.
dug that. That was a.
That was a dig.
That
That
was
was
a
a
big
deep-
one.
That was a deep dive, bro.
Wait, so what's your favorite evolve of Squirtle then? I'm gonna show you.
Blastoise.
Sweet. Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I remember you back in your Pokemon Blue days.
Yeah, I had the games, B.
That makes sense.
But you know what's crazy? I really understand nostalgia and why people go so hard for this stuff. That shit, when you think about your like earlier years and stuff that you
Feel
were
good.
doing, that rush of dopamine hits your head. Like, yo, damn, that was a good time. It probably wasn't even a really good time, but it was a regular time.
Yeah.
But remembering what you were doing when you were playing Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, whatever it was,
Silver, gold,
or
yeah.
gold or silver, you were playing. The greatest one was Pokemon Stadium.
Oh my.
Oh, of course. Oh, by
Oh
far.
my God.
When they released Pokemon Stadium, I felt like I can be the very best that no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
The
To
movie-
train them is my code.
Pokemon? They like this?
Yo, but do you understand?
I felt that.
Do you
I felt that.
realize there's a whole nother like verse?
Of course
after
there
the
is.
original?
Yeah.
That man that white boy
He's making
who sang
money.
it, he sang it from his soul, son.
Yeah,
Sang it right here. And then Pokemon Go.
that's true.
Pokemon Go brought the world together at one time. I remember people were on the streets, grown men and women, running around on these streets with their glued to their phone catchers. Oh, you saw that right there, my nigga? Oh, I saw that.
And on the
Hood
low,
niggas, drug dealers,
come on, B.
hipsters.
Come on, B. And make people lose weight by walking everywhere. Come on.
Sleep.
That's true.
It's good times and all that. That's a little nostalgia for people who are listening.
So evolving.
Yeah, so
And I'm sorry. So evolving and as well as growing, changing, castmates as well. How is it as you guys are brothers? How is that dynamic for
it's
you
miserable
guys?
sometimes. That's all you need to say. It's miserable, obnoxious, but at the same time, it's still my brother.
Okay, from my point of view, it's just like it's like watching yourself. You feel me? Because we're very close in age. We're like Irish twins. You understand? Like my birthday's in June, his birthday's in November. So it's
Sagittarius for people who didn't know.
right. He's a Sag, I'm a Cancer. So it's just like
Lord.
the funny thing about it. If you go deep into our signs, he is a Cancer rising. I'm a Sag rising.
Oh God. Yeah, I know Ebony is mad right now.
Oh,
She is
she's
so
into
mad because she would have enjoyed this conversation.
Trust me, I'm super deep
Every
into it. Super
bit,
deep into
every
it.
bit.
I'm into life path numbers. I'm into soul origin numbers. I look up all of that, B.
I don't care
Trust
about
me.
none of that.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
all
what I
in
don't care
touch into
about,
that.
but-
So it's weird because you looking at him like, because we got better relationship throughout the podcast. I would say that wrestling saved my life. You feel me? Like if you watch episode 1, how we looked, boy, our skin was ashy. Like
I always use cocoa butter.
his skin right now is not sexy as it is right now, B. Because he ain't stressed. He drinking water, son. He
I've
take care of
always
his
drank
skin.
water. And I'm still stressed out. I don't know
Boy, his skin was not smooth like this,
Listen,
dog.
this is his story.
It's moving like this. So is it hard? It's just kind of looking like you expect more from each other. You understand? But the thing about it is, because I expect more from him, is he can't bullshit me. Cause I see right through it. I was like, nigga, I was there when you tried to figure the shit out, nigga. Like, nigga, I was there when you was Urkel, nigga. I was there when you was mad skinny, nigga. Like, you can't.
I was never
Yeah,
bullshit me,
you
B.
definitely the type that'll call him out. Like he be talking about, yo, I ain't come from nothing. I was in the gutter. Where the fuck was I when this was happening? The fuck was
Do not
I?
believe him. He was skinny, V. Then he
I
got
didn't come from the
brolic.
gutter. We didn't come from the gutter.
We didn't come from the gutter.
No, so I was looking at a podcast episode where it was Gilly and
Wallow?
Gilly and Wallow, and Gilly was telling the story. He's like, yo, you know, when we was walking down the block, niggas was afraid of us. You know, when they saw us, you know, I was a wild lion out here. And Wallow just coming, where the fuck was I when this was happening? Ain't nobody was afraid of us. You went to the corner and we all hung out. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, because I like, and the thing about it, we can never make up our past. Like, bro, we lived in a house.
Yes.
With a 2-car garage.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say, they-
Yes. We live in the suburbs.
They live in the burbs.
Which makes no sense because on the same token, niggas was gangbanging in the suburbs.
Yeah, we
Why?
had bad
That
drug
was
dealers
true.
in my neighborhood.
Yeah, like why?
Rosa has mad drug.
Right, like both your parents have good jobs. One's a nurse, one's a doctor.
I had
Boy.
a friend that went to jail for scamming.
Yeah.
His dad was a lawyer. His mom was a nurse. And I remember one time I looked at him. I was like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "Cause I need extra money." I was like, "No,
No,
you
the
don't.
fuck
Your
you
mom
don't.
pays for everything."
But that's greed. Greed to get you there.
That's definitely true.
Smart kid though.
How's he doing, by the way?
Owns a trucking business.
Oh, good for him.
Look at that. Look at that turn out.
My
Now,
son Sugar changed his
now
life.
to follow up on that, Janelle,
Yeah.
you and Wilkins are best friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
How is that dynamic? Because I know
I thought it was an attack on me.
No, it's not
It's
even.
not.
No, it's not. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Our executive director is my best friend of 10 years. So I know, like, we and him get into it. I keep him accountable for all shit. Now it's a lot different because he's not on camera, which eventually he'll get here.
Shout outs to you, executive.
Shout
Oh,
outs
you
to
live
you.
in Bermuda.
His wife.
Oh.
Your wife is from Bermuda.
Mhm.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, and his daughter.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
so you're not a passport boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait. He went to Bermuda to find a wife.
No, well,
No,
no,
he's
no.
not dating fiance
She.
her. Shut up.
It's a long story that I can't really explain. It's better that he explains.
Okay.
But long story short, she lived there. She got pregnant. He moved there. That's the commitment that he showed for her.
Wait, hold up. Okay, so now I got it.
Yeah. See, it doesn't.
It's
make
a
any
lo-
sense.
it's a
It doesn't-
longer
it doesn't
story.
make sense.
Okay, look, I will answer your question. I just want to know how long between when they met to when when she got pregnant.
Oh, it's a while. It was definitely a while.
Okay,
Was it
Okay.
90 days?
No,
you're annoying.
it's
No, it wasn't. She
definitely
had to
it definitely was years.
Stupid.
It was definitely years.
No, I only asked that because I was like, yo, had he had met her
and
while
then
he
that
was out
happened.
there,
Yeah.
smashed, got her pregnant, and
No,
all of
so-
that went
so-
down, that would have been wild.
So he didn't meet her in Bermuda. She
Okay.
was in. She was in New York.
Oh, I thought he went to Bermuda.
See, yeah,
He traveled.
No, no,
that's
no.
why I had
And he
asked
fell
what
in
was
love.
the time
Oh, no, no,
space
no.
because I was like,
It's-
if
it's
my
a
man's
total
went to a
different.
resort, found her, smashed, and got her pregnant, shot at the club, I'd been like, sir,
Yeah, I would.
what are we doing?
Yeah, I would have looked at him like, my nigga, what?
I mean, it's a lot of niggas like that.
Yeah.
That's true.
But your question in regards to how, I mean, he understands me. I understand him, and I feel like because we've always had such a really good way of communicating to each other and keeping each other, as you mentioned, accountable for things, I can depend on him and vice versa. So, like, because our foundation of our friendship was built on, you know, I met him at the first reunion party.
Yeah, with an ex-boyfriend.
Didn't know, yeah, with my boyfriend at the time
Yeah.
when I was with in college, and
He didn't want to be there.
he definitely didn't want to be there. But we sat, we had a good time, and then I came back and stuff like that. But we've just always had a level of respect for each other. See, it's not a bashing. I wasn't gonna bash you.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like it's like, oh, how you guys dealing with Wilkins?
Oh no.
No, he.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love your personality. I'll be like, you know why? Because I feel like when it comes to a lot of things, I feel like me and you have had conversations, and me and you can relate. I was just like, yeah, I definitely get him
He
a
gets
lot.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah,
But
it's a
that's
lot
the,
of
but
things.
that's the perception. A lot of people, when they'll always think he's the mean one. He's the rude one. He's the arrogant one. He's the one he's the selfish one, and he's none of those things. Like any opportunity that he's gotten, he's always dragged us along for the ride. And vice versa. anything that he knows that'll help elevate us, whether it's professionally or personally, he's always there.
Yeah.
So the perception people have of him, that's on them. And that's always something, and that's always been the struggle too, because that's not him.
Well, fuck these niggas.
Yeah,
But see, then
I'm gonna come. Actually, I'm gonna
then
come
you
back
get
to
that,
that. I'm
and then
gonna
you're
come
like,
back
well,
to that.
damn.
I'm gonna come back to that about that because we've had that conversation. But I want to really talk about that in depth. But first, you guys were talking about. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. I'm prepared. So one of the things you guys did talk about is, again, we're talking about evolving and what the podcast did for you. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, you are part owner of Battle Club Pro.
Yes,
Now
I
explain
like
to
you,
me,
definitely.
how did that come to fruition?
So shout outs to Joaquin Morales.
Happy birthday,
Happy belated birthday. He's also another
Gemini.
But
We lit out here.
so once again with wrestling, the wrestling community, especially wrestling community people of color, is fairly small. Like, contrary to belief. So, for us when we first started doing the podcast, we were just trying to figure out how do we maneuver, how do we get people to view, how do we do this? And one of the things we really worked on was building our relationship with independent wrestlers, independent promotions, and things of that nature. So come and meet Joe, and he's a part of Battle Club. And what we started to do was sponsor matches, sponsor shows, and things like that. We started getting involved, which then essentially encouraged other podcasters and other people to sponsor and get involved with Battle Club Pro. So then we were originally supposed to do Jobber Slam. So that's every year we always sit and we're like, all right, what goals are we going to do? What's something we're going to do different this year? And 2019, we were like, we're going to do a show. We're going to blow everyone's mind, and we're going to put on our own show. That no one else has done it yet. So then the pandemic said, skirt, not happening. So that had to go on pause. But in us doing Jobber Sam and working with him, and I think he just saw, there's always a need for, I think it's important to have a woman a part of a team, because their point of view and how they view things and their vision of things is going to be very different. And that's okay. And that's a great, I think it's a great quality to have. And whether it's a partner, business partner, relationship partner, I think it's good to have that type of balance. And I think for him, he saw the value in, like, okay, she's dedicated. She wants to help evolve Battle Club Pro. And so, unbeknownst to me, because I didn't know. So the week of Jobber Sam, the first one, he had messaged me and said, I want to talk to you about something, but after the show. So I said, okay, not thinking nothing of it. Nothing of it. Day the show comes. So I'm like, okay, cool. We get in the ring. We're all here. We're all happy. We're all family bunched up. Cool. And then he hits me with the, remember I told you I had to tell you something in the middle of the ring. Remember I had to tell you something? And I was like, yeah. And that's when he offered part ownership of Battle Club Pro. So for me, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do this? Why? And I'm very bad on surprises and stuff like that. I hate that shit. So that's why I'm like, what? But I saw that there was a need for a woman of color to be a part of the independent wrestling scene, because you don't see it. And a lot of people don't realize the impact that has, even in the locker room, where you want women to feel comfortable. You want the one thing I've always loved about Battle Club, and it's like one of the, like, our mantras, is we a family. Like,
We
when
are.
you go to a show, it's a family vibe. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's here with everybody. It's no problem. So when he asked me, I honestly did not have an answer. Legit. In all honesty, if I'm going to be absolutely real, I wanted to say no. Or if I'm going to be completely honest, I wanted to say absolutely not. I'm okay with the podcast. I'm cool. I'm good. But like we've mentioned before, it's bigger than us. And I had to think about not only myself, I had to think about my team. I had to think about the future. I had to think about how are we going to take things to another level. And how do we be a part of the solution to the problem of people of color not being a part of wrestling? How do we break down that stigmatism of wrestling's corny, whack, like it's a hush thing? How do we do all that? Is we got to be a part of it. And it's the same thing we've talked about on our podcast about how you got to have people of color as writers. You got to have people of color as producers. You got to have people, like, if you're going to infiltrate the system, you got to do it from behind the scenes. You can't always be in the forefront of that. So I knew that it was like I said, I wanted to say no. But then the next show, I gave my answer, and it was yes. But it was yes because it was bigger than me, and it was a need for it, and it wasn't something like I couldn't do. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that I was like, oh my god. But I knew for us to elevate, it was, and myself, it was a goal of mine to do the show. And once we did the show, I was like, I'm good. But now we're coming up on Jabba Sam 3, and for us, it's how do
July 27th.
July 29th?
29th.
New Jabba
Brooklyn,
City.
New York, New Jabba City. Cheap plug. But it became all right, I have to do this for us as a community. If there's going to be a representative, cool. I will put myself in that position because it's important to have somebody in that position. So I'm absolutely blessed that I'm able to enjoy this journey, not only with my brothers, but with Joe and Ray and Paul and everybody there. Now
Love
that we
those
have
guys.
the training school, so we have Fallout. So like, and all the trainers and teachers and things like that. So like it just was another, I think, level up for us to do that. And it gave the opportunity. He started wrestling, training to being a ref. Started wrestling and training, started off as a joke, and then it's not a joke anymore because he had his match. So I'm blessed. It's not always easy, so don't think that I'm sitting here like this is great. This is cookies and raindrops, because it's not. And it's not for everyone. And I will say that there are a lot of people that, always ask me, like, how do you do it? And it's just like, we have a job. We got to get it done. And I'm just thankful that I have a great support system that is along for the ride, because, like, I tell my boy, like, I wouldn't have made it through the first job I was saying without the person that I'm with today. Like, he saw everything from the bottom up and was there, and even with them, us putting the card together, us doing the little stuff, those are the things that makes wrestling so dope, is when we have those moments. Like, our first show, when we had Shane Taylor Promotions versus Prolific, I cried when Prolific came.
Yeah.
I cried. Like, I was in the corner.
Yeah.
I cried because two out of the three of them, we saw their beginnings in wrestling.
Yup.
We were there when they started training. We were there for their first shows, when they won titles and things
Staten
like
Island.
that. In Staten Island, taking a boat to with a cab and a bus and all that stuff.
Damn.
So we saw the beginnings, and so to be able to share those moments with people that have been with us from the beginning, it meant something. And I think that for me made me realize, like, we have to keep doing this. We have to keep creating these moments and being a part of those moments and those opportunities. Because we can't always sit here and say, well, they don't get opportunities because they're black. And it's like, there's no excuse now.
No excuse.
There's no excuse. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful. It's not easy. I don't recommend it for the weak at heart. But it's a part of our journey. And I don't think we would have been able to elevate unless we had that first show.
Yeah.
Now, to follow up on that, Mr. Blacc, Janelle, you did mention refereeing. How did you get into refereeing at that? Because it's an interesting take.
All right, so the only black ref I saw consistently was this dude named Nick Shin.
Shout out to Nick.
Nick Shin, like, to me, he's the OG black ref in the indie scene. I've seen him everywhere for years. All right. During the time when I was considering what to do in wrestling, because I still try to find myself. The thing about me doing this podcast, it allowed me to become the man I am today. It gave me directions and all of that. If you ask my brother, he probably was just like, man, you was not doing nothing with your life. You was working, coming home, and that's it. I was like, he was right. You feel me? When a man don't have direction and a purpose, like, he is set up to fail. That's it. Like a lot of people don't understand that. So me doing podcasts, like, I want to do something in wrestling. During that time, I had a bad shoulder to the point where I could just did this, it would pop out. I was like, dang, I like hitting people, but I don't like getting hit back. I don't like it. Period. So that's me being selfish. So I was like, yeah, what's the best way? So I saw Nick all the time. Nick, how you get into? Yo, get into it, man. I asked him a couple of questions. We was in DC. And we went there to sponsor Big Swole. Shout out to Big Swole. Shout out to her. We went out there to sponsor the match. And then shout out to my homegirl, Spice Bugle and Big Game Leroy, right? They was like, yo, I talk shit forever in the crowd. Like, if you came to indie show, people know me back in the day before I started roughing, the biggest shit talker. Like, I talk shit to the wrestlers, everybody, but I do it respectfully. Because if you're here, I'm gonna boo you. If you're babyface, I'm gonna cheer for you. Because I believe that as an audience, we're all in it. So don't be the dickhead and talking about, oh no, no. You be the smart fan and add to the show. You feel me? Because why you taking away by criticizing? Yo, boo the wrestlers. You understand? Cheer the faces. You can be a part of the show just by doing the basics. So I was just like, Joe Kim, I'm gonna go to battle. All right, man. Pull up. So then I pulled up, and then I started training. I went from doodle to trash. I'm still trash as far as wrestling wise, but refereeing wise, you can't fucking touch me. I remember, shout out to Santi, one of my coaches. He said, yo, what are you doing over here? Like, what do you want out of wrestling? I said, I looked dead in his face. I'm gonna be the best referee ever. So, becoming a referee, going through the process, taught me the simple compound effect. You put one foot forward, the second foot. You keep on going, a snowflake effect, you're going to get better. You're going to get consistent. Wrestling taught me so much life lessons as far as just developing a character as a man, where, yo, if somebody owes you money after, like, I done and ref your thing, I'm going to talk to you. The old version of me couldn't do that because I didn't know who I was. Now I'm on some like, yo, bro, you owe me money? What's up? Work with me. You feel me? Listen, I had a situation, somebody didn't pay me. I ain't gonna treat you any differently, but I'll never work for you ever again. I learned in wrestling, leave people with their dignity. Because at the end of the day, son, that will come back and bite you in your ass. So I don't embarrass everybody. None of that. Just eat shit. All right, cool. I taught this from wrestling. Wrestling taught me how to be a stand-up version of myself because it allowed me to take the step back and like, dang, I fuck up matches. You understand? Nick Shin, shout out to Steve. Those are my referee trainers, my brothers in arm. They'll come up to me. What the fuck was that? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Are you right? They're talking to me because they understand now how to have something in me. People don't talk to you if you don't see something in you. You're not being consistent. I get help from all the workers. We all workers, but the wrestler come up to me. You gotta do this, do that, because they seen something in me. Because being a ref, one thing I learned is people understand if the refereeing is bad, the match will suck.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you need the ref that be on time and stuff like that. And if it means that, hey, we got all going to training, we all got to lose the weight, whatever, collectively, I'm losing weight along with them. You feel me? And even as a ref, there's other jobs I have to do. I always make sure the locker room is clean. I always make sure everybody have the high spirit. I'm in training, like, shout out to my son, Young Lion. Yo, my nigga, Young Lion, let's go. I always tell everybody, if you love sports and you miss me in the locker room, join wrestling. Because that's the best feeling you'll get, being in a locker room full of guys that you love, that you see from the beginning of the journey. So, refereeing is something I love, B. I love the game. I love the hustle. Would I do this for free?
All right, Mitch.
Was
Yes.
that
I got to pay in full half. Like, don't be wrong. Would I do it for free? You can't put a value on what I do in the ring. But I'll settle for a price. But you can't pay me what I'm value because I'm like, we all don't have value. You understand? We determine if we're going to work for this. But our price is priceless, B. Priceless. Once you understand how priceless you are, son, you're limitless.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Make me want to say a little bit. Going a little emotional to go in at. I'm sorry, Wilkins. Question. I'm sorry. I have to do this to you. Why does everybody hate Sir Wilkins?
Oh, because I don't know. I think
I'm gonna say from my point of view after.
no, there's no reason to say it. It's just it really is not a. It's really not a big deal to me. Cause what's interesting about it, I don't think everybody hates me. People don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I think that's what it really comes down to. And also, I really don't give a fuck about other people that much.
Love it. Fucking love it.
Because it's like, I think I've spoken to her about it, I've spoken to him about it. You're going to have your village of people who truly care about you. You're going to have those people who care about you, who fuck with you, do good, bad, indifferent, whatever, and then you'll figure it out. You'll have conversations, and then you'll figure things out. The people who complain online is like, nigga, you're not gonna do anything to me. Like, it's really not a big deal. It's my opinion, and wrestling is not factual for the most part.
Until it happens.
Yeah, like it's the most like it's the most opinionated sport that you'll ever see in your life. Like, I could believe that Goldberg is the greatest wrestler of all time.
He's not.
But somebody be like, no, he's not.
He's not.
I believe Bret Hart is, or Shawn Michaels is. It's opinion based.
Or
Granted,
Eugene.
is there skill that's involved in there? Yes. Oh, yes.
Hell yeah.
We all know how great Bret Hart. We all know how great Shawn Michaels is. We all know how great Goldberg is, depending on who you're speaking
Not
to.
great.
But it's all your opinion about who it is. So when I say my opinion, you may not like it. I don't give a fuck. But if you tell me your opinion, we can have a conversation about it. This is barbershop talk.
True.
This is just a conversation. And the thing about it, we're just talking.
And I think because people have, like, once again, we've been doing the podcast over almost 5 years now. So for us, some people I do think take what we say like Bible. So then if there's an opinion or something that goes against that,
it goes left.
It goes left.
Which
so
is
even
fine.
with the clips that they post sometimes, like on Instagram or on TikTok, whatever it is, people are only seeing a clip, and I think people don't realize people listen to react; they don't listen to comprehend. So the issue that I think a lot of people have, especially like with his, with his pertaining to his comments, and particularly, they just don't honestly see it from that way. So because they don't see it that way, their first thing is to react. Whereas it should be, well, how do you see it that way? Well, and having a conversation and it being productive. And some people aren't about that. They're not subscribing to being productive and having a productive conversation. So.
But I also think that wrestling for many people is nostalgia in whatever form it is. Because for many people, they started watching wrestling at a very young age. Mm-hmm. So when you talk against something that they cherish so much, there's going to be reactions. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, everything I say is right, like 100%, it makes sense all the time. No, it's still my opinion. Like, it's still an opinion, and not everybody's going to like your opinion, but you're still going to watch the shit, though. And you're still going to comment, and you're still going to send it to wrestlers.
Like, I tell people all the time, I appreciate the view.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you're going to say, like, I know for a fact, there was a time that I know for a fact that people backstage at WWE were sharing our stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that complex situation happened.
So it's like, it was across, but it's different group chats that are sharing my stuff, which is fine. I don't care, or sharing our stuff in general. But it's like, it's not that serious. But the thing about it, if you're getting so mad, thank you. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm making you feel a way.
And you're doing something right.
Good or bad or indifferent. But you felt something. Which means that we're doing our job. I'm doing my job, which is just doing that. It's entertainment. It's still entertainment at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And do people that hate me? Yeah, I don't care. I've had people I work with hate me.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Like, literally hate me. But then I will give the shirt off my back for most people. Mm-hmm. And I will make sure people are good because I understand struggle, and I'll always try to help somebody out.
Yeah.
But just to piggyback what he's saying, though, is like, it's just opinion baited. And sometimes I look at how people reply to something that go against what they believe in. And I always look at the individual because, let's say I say something that, because to me and him, for example, he thinks Sting is the wackest dude ever, right?
Which I don't agree with.
I feel like Sting is the best. You know why? Sting for 1 million dudes in WCW. No, all the wrestlers for 1 million dudes in the ring with a baseball bat. No all the dudes, you feel me?
But,
My son was Joker. My son had red face paint with a goatee. Who does that? My man Sting, B. Sting cast you with the same trick. With the fake mask, underneath with the
face paint.
Come on, he cast you all the time.
But it's.
But hold on.
Because he's mentioning Sting, which was probably people got mad about that one. When I mentioned about Sting not being as great. But it's like, once again, it goes back to what I said before. many people grew up on Sting.
Yeah.
Like, for many people, Sting was their Rock.
Yeah.
Sting was their Stone Cold.
Right.
Because he was the face of WCW for a very long time.
Exactly.
He didn't really carry the company, in my opinion. I think it was more Rick, but that's a different conversation. It's debatable, which is the thing. But when you strike that nerve, especially when something that people truly love, they get offended by it. Like, I don't get offended when people shit on The Rock. Her boyfriend shits on The Rock every chance.
I definitely do. I definitely do it too.
Yo, but what's crazy though is that low key deep down he don't even mean that shit.
Because
he just said to do it now.
And like I always look at how people react to certain things. Some people might say, "Oh, so Wilkins, you wrong, Mr. Blacc, you wrong in his opinion." Cool, I could go back and forth with you. But then this is when like people get disrespectful, calling us outside our name, idiots, lame, losers, all of that.
But
I look at those people, right? I look at those people and I say, you have a you issue. However, like, that's you because you want to be angry, come off, you attacking us. There have been times where, like, I see these people in person. Yo, what you said? Yo, Mr. Blacc, it wasn't nothing, blah, 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 blah. I don't talk about this because nothing to brag about. I press a couple niggas like, what you said about me on this, da-da-da. Nah, Mr. Blacc, nah, I was playing, da-da-da. Try to give me that for everything. Nah, nigga, suck my dick. All right?
Well, a lot of people are keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
I was gonna go into that. So it's interesting story that you mentioned that. So one of the episodes we did, we put up a reel, and somebody called Ebony a hoe.
What?
Was that one that went like super viral?
Yeah, and they called her a hoe. She was just saying She was just saying her own opinion about how she feels about situations with certain men and certain women, and then they just called her out her name. Me, Kevin, we had to tell her, don't respond. She couldn't help herself but to respond.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then he was saying more shit.
That's how she
and then he said some shit. He kept on saying some shit. And then I'm just chilling there, and I'm just like, all right, fuck it. I was like, yo, fam, you getting a little disrespectful. I was like, this is a place of respect. You could talk, you could say how you feel, but watch your mouth. But then I'm looking, I was like, you a ghost follower anyway. You just somebody that has one pick and just a fucking numbers as your name. You ain't gonna say that shit to my face because you real life pussy. So I'm not really worried about this shit anyway. So I'll move. Yeah, like it was some real shit. Cause actually that happened a couple days ago to me. Talking about,
somebody call you a hoe?
No, somebody called me a bitch ass nigga and told me to go get a job in the comments.
Oh wow.
He's like, why are you talking? Cause I was saying something about, I think I was talking about Chica. And some shit that
I
she
saw that
did.
episode. Yeah.
So he says, "Oh, who are you to talk? Go get a job or something. Go get a job, nigga." I'm like, at first, initially, my instinct was, let me go look at this nigga page. One picture, ain't got much. I'm just like, I'm just not, cause.
But you know what's interesting though? I think women get attacked more online than men do.
Oh, black women in general get attacked
she gets
3 times.
She gets it a lot because I think it's also the fact that she protects herself very well, but when she does put herself out there, there is more form for attack because of black women in this predominantly white space, which is called wrestling.
I wouldn't just say wrestling. I would just say in general.
In general, so people really go out of their way to try to
they go left, to be disrespectful, and it's just like what?
And then because for me, it doesn't bother me per se because it's like, yo, you really can't say nothing to get at me. Like, I'm fine in life, so it isn't like you'll say, oh, you don't get no pussy. I'm fine.
Right, but it goes to the whole misery loves company situation.
Because their situation may not be the best at home. Right. And they have you issues and stuff like that.
And that's the thing that I think about, like, even when people either in the comments or they message on Facebook and things like that, and they upset about because they couldn't get a table at Legends, they got their panties in a bunch. But it's at the end of the day, you're miserable.
Oh, no, you're miserable. I've seen it.
And I actually feel bad to a certain extent that you feel like this was the way to handle how you felt.
True.
And it just goes, it's even deeper than that of how people handle situations.
Yeah.
Because
disgusting. Because
regardless, like even going to the Sting comment, I don't agree, but I would never be like, you pussy ass nigga, you know what you're talking about. Like, no.
Yeah,
like, so at the end of the day, if we're gonna be adults and we all have opinions, we want to respect our opinions, and We want to be able to give a space where your opinion can be welcome. And I feel like we have a very great platform that does that because we don't shy away from stuff like that. If people have questions on our show, we answer them. If people have comments, they will respond. So nothing gets unleft and unsaid. So if people are miserable and they want to come at us, it doesn't affect us. Like you spend more time writing. I'm not reading shit, so I don't.
That's
it
true.
doesn't.
I always
hit
reply
me.
like this. I always say when something super negative.
And I always know who out of the one of them replies.
I always say like
It's
there's
just
something
funny to
call out there. I was like, yo, bro, these are my 3 generic responses. I'll say the first one is, and they say something out of name. Yo, bro, this was not even necessary to call outside our name, but you know what, brother, man, you have a great day,
Yeah, be
and
blessed.
thank you for the view.
Yeah.
Right. Second comment I always say is, you dead ass watch this clip just to reply, not to understand. The third option, the third thing I always say is just like, bro, you going off for just a clip. It's a clip. Watch the full episode. I am. When they watch the full episode, oh, nah, this podcast is actually pretty lit, man. Share. So save. I be looking at people like, I see when y'all save our stuff, right? I see when you send to your little friends, though, son. There been times we will have 20 comments. Nobody really say nothing. The send and the save be in the hundreds. I said, y'all niggas are watching.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, it's one of those. It's at this point, whatever you put out, you're gonna expect a reaction.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's just part of the game of what it is. I think the disrespect is when it goes too far, but that's just what it is. And so thank you for having us.
Yeah.
How you?
So what actually?
Because Court did the wrap it up thing, so he saw him. So once again, he think it's his show, so he's there, like helping him.
All right. So real quick, because we are gonna wrap it up, but I'm gonna do something really, really quick.
All right, go ahead.
All right. You saw the timer. I know you saw the timer. All right. So this is a 90-second thing. I'm going to ask each person. I'm gonna name either a topic, a person, anything, and you have to give me an answer like really, really quick.
Okay, got you.
The first
All right.
thing in your head.
All right. First thing in your head.
Explanation.
All right.
Don't break it down.
All right. Janelle.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair.
GOAT status. Not appreciated enough. Gonna do bigger things than her father.
Next.
I like that. All right. Sir Wilkins. Sting.
Overrated.
Asshole.
That was a little bit too easy. How about pineapple on pizza?
Not bad.
It is. It's not that bad.
No.
Mr. Blacc. Teddy Long.
Oh my God. That's my daddy. That's my dad. The OG.
We saw him at Wrestle King.
Oh man, I almost cried, dude. You understand? Teddy Long is the blueprint for Mr. Blacc.
Janelle, the original 4 pillars.
Wait, of what?
Of
AEW?
No, the original. We're talking about the 4 kings.
You gonna have to break that down for me.
Masawa. Why do I always forget now? The 4 original of All Japan.
I don't watch that, so I couldn't tell you. That's the answer to that. I don't watch it, so I have no idea.
That's fair.
That's why when you said
fair.
that, I was sitting here like, of who?
That's fair.
What?
That is fair.
Respectfully.
No, that's fair.
All right.
The greatest thing I ever heard was Nick Aldis came on our show once, and he was like, "You know they got shitty wrestling in Japan too, right?" I was like,
You know what? I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna click that clip. I'm gonna find that video.
Can I have another word then? Because I feel like I got cheated. I was like, I don't know that.
Let's see. What is it? One that I want to think of. Sir Wilkins, I'm gonna just ask you then.
Yeah.
Jobber Tears.
we're in the fuck these niggas era.
Mr. Blacc.
Respectfully.
Jobber Tears.
Y'all niggas ain't seeing us. This is our 3rd show. Our 3rd wrestling event. The first one was Suck My Dick. The second one was Suck My Dick from my back. This one is Eat My Ass now.
Some people may like that though, so you may want to watch that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
not that. I don't feel like that's as disrespectful as Suck My
And
Dick.
and then of course, Janelle. Soft girl era.
Soft girl era.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna give you.
She not soft girl era. She got soft girl.
I'm fucking with you. Drop of tears.
Oh no, I was just like, because that was what your previous show was, and I was here for a little bit, but I was sitting here like, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. But Job of Tears.
Was he in the soft girl era?
Family, you're annoying, and you should ask that after the show while we're not live on a real camera. Job of Tears. Family.
He's kind of a big dude.
History. Shut up.
Be in the soft girl era.
You wait until now to shut up. Job of Tears. Family. History Made.
Soft girl era.
You done fucked them up with soft girl era now. But that's about it. Job of Tears. Us. Black Excellence.
Yeah.
Fubu.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
For us, by us.
What happened? What's damn? Somebody died?
Damn. As soon as we started talking about it, somebody made this long ass comment on Instagram.
Oh wait, on one of your posts?
It's funny. It's funny how we talk about these things. But nonetheless,
Speak things into existence.
I am very happy that you guys are on the show. This is actually what I really wanted. And I'm gonna give a quick backstory. When We Ain't Them was coming to fruition, I actually went to Legends.
I remember, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to you guys and I asked you like how you feel, and you gave me like great suggestions. And through trials and tribulations, We Ain't Them is here 2 years in, 2 years strong, and I would not be here honestly. And not going to Atlanta yet. We don't know yet. And we really wouldn't be here without you guys because you guys really gave us the push that we needed to go through.
Underground Kings, my nigga.
I actually do enjoy y'all show. The difference is because you and your fiance, like I enjoy it because it feel like a real conversation. And the one thing I know is that Smicky, I stand out and wrong. A lot of them is y'all don't come from hurt places. Y'all come from healed places.
It's because they love each other.
Yeah. So what? So what? Like I know two hurt people that love each other. Trust. You forget? Like we had Akintino fighting and stuff like that. The guy went to.
Who fought?
Okay,
We're not gonna say
we
that.
won't talk about
you
about
feel
this
me?
off.
But like overall, it's just like I like listening to y'all because y'all have different takes, and the takes don't come from internet takes. It doesn't come from the extremes. It comes from a place of like, nah, I've been through this. I thought this out, and this is how I feel. So I really do enjoy our show. And like, yo, keep it up.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Thank you.
It's just
I really
good
appreciate
to see that it went from questions being asked to actually happening because that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, plus you're dark skin. Like to see
people will, people ask us advice and
you know these light skinned niggas be taking over.
You're annoying. No,
Word. That's true though.
Especially the light skinned women.
Fucking engineers light skin. What is wrong with you?
He's an ally.
He's an ally to the dark skin community.
Technically speaking, he's brown passing.
Listen, I have no problem with light skinned women. I have no problem with light skinned women. I have dated plenty of light skinned women. I just appreciate seeing
very light. To like almost.
I'm hoping that we do another episode
we need to.
with Ebony here.
Please do.
Because that is going to be a whole different. This is going to switch into another whole different topic. I just want you to know.
You want a rare few people have all three of us in person. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Take that and take Ebony in it. Oh God, that's
listen.
Oh, that's
Ebony
going.
doesn't like light skinned women.
Say that.
Please
Okay,
With that being said,
about your show?
I'd like to thank Sir Wilkins. I'd like to thank Janelle, and I'd like to thank Mr. Blacc of the Job of Tears
So you're not gonna
podcast.
answer the
Make
question?
sure
No,
you
not
check
until
them.
after he finishes his damn show.
Definitely check them out on YouTube. Check them out on all streaming platforms. Definitely, whenever they have events, check them out at Legends. Definitely follow them on Instagram. They are very, very funny. I love their reels. I love their show. And I know you will too. And especially if you're not in that wrestling community, this will give you that foot in, especially if you're a black person that feels like, you're the odd man out. You definitely will feel great stepping into this community.
Light skin or dark skin, we got love for you both.
Oh, we're not just for black people, we for everybody. Like
Yeah.
if you go Legends Bar, it's a rainbow.
It's a rainbow. My palm colored brothers and sisters, we love y'all.
Shout out to Ox Kane for that one.
My Asian people, we love y'all. My brown colored people,
My Goyas.
my Hispanic people, we love y'all
Right.
too.
Well, no,
I mean Latinx, sorry.
All right. With that being said, I am your host, Rassan. I was about to say Mr. Gary. I thought I was at work. But definitely check us out at We and Them _. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and check us out on Instagram. You're definitely going to be seeing clips of this episode. This is going to probably be my favorite episode to just cut in general.
Just because it was niggas.
Because it's you acting out.
It's dark-skinned niggas.
With that being said, we'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I do have to mention this. Unfortunately, this will be our final episode at the studio. We are going to miss the studio. Dev, I am very mad at you. I just want you to know on the inside, I'm hurt. We all hurt.
I'm hurt too because I wanted to try the studio out.
But this studio has been a blessing to us for the past year and a half. We really want to thank Devon Terrell for making such a place for us in Brooklyn and in New York. But we will be still on the go. We're still working out some kinks, but we will figure it out, and you will be seeing us very, very soon. So thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
And we will be seeing y'all in the next one.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.